I don't think the protests are based on the tax reform. If we may look at how things have been evolving, the national strike was called even before we presented the bill before Congress. The agenda of the promoters of the strike was not dependent on the tax reform. Now, in the times we live, where fake news and misinformation moves at a faster pace than reasonability, the tax reform was misinformed, and it was used by some people to infuriate the sentiments in the streets. What the reform aimed to do was to provide cash transfers to the 50% of the Colombian population in need. It was conceived as a program so that neither the middle class nor the lowest income families would have to pay a single tax, but on the contrary, they will receive benefits that could have destroyed absolute poverty within a 3-year framework. This was the first program in Colombian history that was going to provide a basic supply of resources to more than 10 million families. And that could have made a big change. If it wasn't because of COVID-19, we would have not been calling for another fiscal reform. The reason why we called for the fiscal reform was to stabilize our finances and be able to provide resources for those social programs and be able to be aggressive in reducing poverty in Colombia. But obviously, there was a lot of misinformation. I made the call and I said, okay, let's read through it and let's try to build a proposal to protect the social safety net, because we cannot lose those programs. Those programs ought to be maintained and ought to be maintained at least until the end of next year, so that we can navigate throughout the storm of the pandemic and maybe the post-pandemic by providing resources for the people that need more support.